Anyway, I came home from work one day. Cody and I lived together a couple times. Came home from work one day, and I was cleaning up the kitchen because it was a fucking mess. I got home from work at like 10 p.m. or something like that. And my girlfriend, now wife, Lauren, at the time, was coming over. So I was like, I'm going to clean up a little bit. And it turns out they did acid, but I didn't know that. They had pizza out, and they had some extra tabs of acid on the fucking pizza box for some reason. And I'm cleaning up the kitchen, and then like turns out like 10 minutes later, like, hey, did you see those tabs of acid that were on the pizza? By the way, in the meantime, like while I was cleaning up, I took one of their beers. I had a piece of pizza.
You had Chipotle.
Well, no, I was coming home from Chipotle, but like
I thought you had a burrito or something.
No, I took a piece of the pizza that I cleaned up because I put it in a container or whatever, and I had a beer. And in the midst of cleaning, like, anyway, so I had a beer, had a piece of pizza, cleaned up the kitchen a little bit. 10 minutes later, Cody comes downstairs. He's like, hey, do you see some acid when you were cleaning up? And I was like, no, not at all, because Cody's got a dog. So they were worried about.
We thought Freddie had
Freddie.
I did not want Freddie to go through a trip.
I think you guys were missing 1 or 2 doses.
We were missing like 2. We found one.
You found one.
And it wasn't on the pizza box. It was next to the pizza box on cardboard, and you must have picked up that piece of cardboard to throw it away. And
I think that's
one
what
of those.
it was.
One of those tabs fell onto the pizza.
It either fell onto the pizza or it fell into my beer. Because
something, yeah.
An hour later,
you just come up and you're like, guys, I'm tripping.
Yeah, Lauren and I were
like, oh, we know where the tab went. Lauren, you're all right, Freddie.
It was a fun experience. Luckily, I had tripped before,
and like, you didn't have to fucking work anytime soon.
Yeah, I didn't have to work the next day.
Do anything important.
Lauren and I were watching The Princess Bride in my room downstairs, and like, I told Lauren, I'm like, I'm feeling kind of weird. And this was after you're like, yeah, we're missing a tab. I don't know where it went. Hopefully Freddie didn't.
Yeah.
And then like an hour later, like luckily you told me that, because an hour later I start to feel weird, and I'm like, Lauren, I think I ate that tab they're missing because I'm feeling really weird. And then like 20 minutes past that, I'm like, yeah, I am definitely tripping right now. I don't know how the fuck it either fell into the beer or fell onto the pizza, because I only had one piece of pizza, and it was like square cut, thin slice, whatever, or thin crust. But fuck, dude, that was an adventure.
That's
like, spend a night tripping and not knowing you were gonna trip. But luckily, I had experience with it before then, so it wasn't like strange. It was just like, well, I guess here we go.
If you had known, it's like, do I go to a mental hospital?
Yeah, right.
What's wrong?
I enjoy tripping. I like psychedelics, but I mean,
to not be ready for
it. Yeah, that's where, because you hear the stories throughout all the fucking music festival shit. It's like, oh, people are gonna dose you and blah 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 and shit like that. And it's like, I don't know how you can, because it has to go in your mouth.
Boof it.
Unless you accidentally inject